Okay,
What's
so
popping, y'all?
streamer spends 100K a month to stay famous.
What's popping, y'all? We're not done with Thug yet, but we're gonna give him a little break to get into a topic I really enjoy, which is growing audiences. And I do a lot of this, or I've got some history with this. But this back and forth started between Stable Ronaldo, who is a part of FaZe Clan, who was originally a really big Fortnite streamer. He had a lull in his career. He joined FaZe, and then he got himself some motion again outside of gaming. And then you have Neon, who came up in the 2K community, but Aiden helped him out. He helped push him more into IRL stuff, and now he's gotten the biggest collabs I've seen, or nearly the biggest collabs I've seen from any other streamer. Like, he did a stream with Ye. That's very rare. Even Kai Cenat didn't get an official stream with Ye. Granted, that was a blackballed era of Ye, and streamers like Speed and Aiden, have gotten bigger collaborations overall. But when we're talking about pound for how popular Neon is in comparison to a lot of streamers, he's getting crazy collaborations. Like, he's getting NBA players, he's getting Iggy Azalea, he's getting all these other people. And it doesn't feel like there are a lot of Neon fans like there are fans of these other streamers. Well, a lot of this is clipping, and Neon has been known to pay clippers a lot of money every month. And this all started with a Stable Ronaldo giving his opinion on clippers. So I'm gonna play you guys that first.
The reason, by the way, I don't pay people isn't because I don't want to grow. I think paying people and paying clippers, no offense, but get ready for the truth. People might get offended. I think paying clippers should be for smaller streamers trying to grow. I don't think it's meant for bigger streamers. I don't think it helps anyone. I'm gonna be honest. I think paying clippers should be for smaller streamers trying to grow. I don't think it's meant for bigger streamers. I don't think it helps anyone. I'm gonna be honest. If you're already a big streamer and you pay clippers, I feel like it doesn't help you grow, right? I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't help you grow. I think paying clippers should be for smaller streamers. The problem is smaller streamers can't do it anymore because motherfuckers are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, there's millions of dollars spent every single month on clippers now. Someone who averages 20 viewers can't pay for that.
I really like this opinion. Now, the reason why I think he is not only qualified, but it's imperative that somebody in his position give this thought is because Ronaldo came up in the last generation of authentic streamers. Like, the guy, to be a streamer, usually meant just gaming. Because, like I said, years ago on Twitch, you would get banned if you didn't game. If you were not on a video game, you were getting banned. That's it. So the majority of people that grew, they grew via, if they weren't on Twitch really early, we're talking early 2010s, like 2012, 2013, they grew because they got really good at a game. Or, yeah, they got really high rank in a game, they got really good at a game, and people within that community of that game would watch them. Now, I don't know if that was the case for Stable Ronaldo, because I remember he was a huge Fortnite streamer, but I didn't really play Fortnite other than, like, the first day it came out, like the beta, years ago, and I was like, this is not for me. But he came up in the game. So some people came up with entertainment, but that's very rare that someone sucks at the game and is just entertaining and people will watch them. Usually that person already has an audience and he's playing the game. But Fortnite blew up so much that it became mainstream, and a lot of these people grew out of that. So Ronaldo, he's talking about it in the sense that if you are a streamer like an Aiden Ross, like a Neon, like a, I wouldn't call them household names, but these guys have so much DDG. These guys have so much disposable income that they can throw at clippers. And there's only so much labor, right, out there. So they jack up the price of clipping, because let's say you are a new streamer and you're trying to get in the game. Aiden Ross, these guys are corporations, damn near, in comparison to you. You got a couple $100, maybe you got a band or two. Like, if you got a huge budget, you probably wouldn't be streaming if you got a ton of money. So you're trying to grind it up. Maybe this is your passion as well. Well, why would a clipper work with you when they can just work with an Aiden Ross or a streamer that's going to pay them significantly more than you? Exactly. Now, a lot of people called Stable Ronaldo a clip farmer, which is a little bit different. So years ago, the clip farming method was to get on live stream fails. They used to call it LSF, and they would be like, yo, this guy's farming for LSF. So you couldn't post yourself on LSF, live stream fails, a Reddit, for kind of like, it started off as like bloopers and funny moments of streams, and then people started to understand that they could grow off of there. So streamers, like, I wouldn't necessarily say QT Cinderella is one of them, but there are some streamers that built their careers off of getting clips that get put on there. But you couldn't self-promote, and people from your audience couldn't promote you, otherwise you would get banned from that subreddit. So people would bait content that would get clipped and then get put put on there. So Ronaldo, he is so big and he's got so many fans that he'll behave in a certain way that he knows, oh, they're going to clip this, as opposed to a Neon or others that are paying people to just clip their stuff. So I think Ronaldo here is like supporting smaller streamers, saying like, yo, if you're huge, just be good and people will clip you anyway. And this is the funny thing, because normal people that just watch the stuff, they're like, yo, these biggest streamers, they don't need to pay clippers, they're the biggest. No, they're gonna get clipped anyway. No, they're the ones that are paying for all the clippers because the small streamers can't afford them. And the reason that the small streamers can't afford them is because the big ones jacked up the price. It's like TikTok, for instance. And I used to do this, but years ago, the TikTokers and the metas have changed. The metas have changed. But let's say 2019, Addison Rae, I got a homie, he makes music, and he wanted Addison Rae to do a dance to his song. It was either, I think it was end of 2019 or beginning of 2018, end of 2018, something like that. But he was talking to Addison Rae, who, that Diet Pepsi song is just a banger, dog. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But off of that tangent, it was $500 that she was down. And then immediately, once she got signed to an agency, that 500 jumped to like 15K. And then that 15K quickly turned into 150K a couple of months later. So what I used to do is we would get the smaller ones, and then they would do it for a couple $100. But this is what happened. This is before labels caught on. Because once labels caught on to the game, they've got huge budgets. So they start handing TikTokers $1,500, $2,500, for even smaller artists to do a TikTok, do a dance or something. That was the meta at the time. So if they're handing $1,500, if you're a smaller artist, you used to be able to get 5 decently sized big TikTokers to do something. Now you can just do one. One is not enough. So you're priced out of the market. And that's what he's saying is going on with these streamers. The small streamers are priced out. So Neon responds to this. And I want to play you guys that clip right now.
By the way, this has nothing against Ron. He's speaking his mind. I f with Ron heavy. This is why I don't think that's true. Because companies, right? Companies, are they watching streams? Are they going on Twitch looking at streams, twitch.tv/neon, twitch. Whatever? No. They're seeing the clips. They're scrolling. The executives, they're scrolling. They see this shit come up on their phones. Collabs. You hit up someone. They're not... No. Kevin Durant's not watching a Twitch stream, right? He's seeing clips. He's like, oh, this dude's funny as f***. Bring him on. Or let me do some shit with him. The clipping industry is bigger than ever, and the Clippers need to get more respect for making careers. The Clippers made my career, right? They made my career, bro. No one sits down. The idea of sitting down watching streams is starting to die out, and it's more about scrolling. They want to see quick shit. Their minds are fucked. The world is so cooked. I'm the same way. Motherfuckers are scrolling every second, right? Seeing all this shit. I would... Actually, never mind. Let me not say that. But... chat's gonna be on my ass. All right. But nah, for real, though. The clipping... matters so much.
So Neon is correct here, and Neon, I would say, is one of the people that spends the most proportional to his income on Clippers. Like, this guy is spending a gargantuan percentage, and it's not like, oh, he's spending 100K on Clippers and he's making like $1 million a month. I don't know how much he makes, but the ratio is more like he's spending 400K and he's making $1 million, like 40% or something like that, just from what I've heard. And the numbers are subject to change, by the way. Like, this was maybe last year or so. And he's right, but that's what makes streaming suck now, to a degree, because streaming used to be this community thing. It's like a communal thing. There's a chat. People are chilling in the chat. People recognize certain names in the chat. They recognize certain mods. Certain mods have like certain reputations. You see some other people in the chat. Maybe, you hit them up with a whisper if it was on Twitch. You start talking to that person. Usually they played the same game. So now some people met off of that Twitch chat and now they're playing a game together and now they're friends. And they're friends because of the streamer. And the streamer doesn't have this pressure because the way that Neon talks, he's like, yeah, people don't want to watch streams. So why are you streaming? And this goes back to this guy's streaming and with the intention of, okay, I've got to make the most clippable moments. So it's a whole script because they're basically saying like, yo, we need to create a trailer. But the trailer it's not going to convert. Now the kids are watching this stuff. They're the ones that are spending the most of their time. But he is correct in that, Kevin Durant, like these busy people, they're not watching this stuff. They're watching clips. And I'm in a similar boat. I don't have the time to watch streams that I did back in the day. I used to watch streams all the time, but I don't have the time to watch it right now, and a lot of it is kiddie content. But Ronaldo gives his own response to this, and I'm gonna play you guys that now.
Scrolling. They want to see quick. Their minds. The world is so cooked. I'm the same way.
See, that's the problem, though. The biggest problem is motherfuckers are taking streaming and turning it into something that it's not. If you want to do that, go do that somewhere else. I'm going to be honest with you. It's agree and I disagree. I think the problem with streaming right now is everyone's trying to do too many clips to the point where streaming isn't becoming streaming. The whole point of streaming to me is engaging with my community. People are worried about companies seeing you making like whatever it is, and I get it. It's all a business at the end of the day. But at the same time, it ruins the fundamental of why you want to become a streamer. If someone's watching the stream, they want to become a streamer because they want to entertain, they want to do that. Like, I don't know, bro. It's a yes and a no. It's like a yin and a yang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't disagree with clipping is bad, but I also don't ever see a world where I'm paying $100,000 a month for clippers. That's never I haven't paid a single dollar to a single clipper, and look how far I've gotten. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
see, this guy gives. I really like this guy now, the more that I'm learning about him, because he's giving such a balanced take on this. Usually, someone's got a more radical, one-sided approach where it's like, no, streaming is supposed to be this. He's saying like, yo, I understand from the business aspect, but what are you really doing? You are not a live streamer then. You are a promoter. You are like a scripter. You are a director of a show that you're also acting in, because all you're thinking about is clips and you're spending a ton of money to promote it. So how many people are actually messing with you? Like, how many people do really enjoy your product? And what is your product? And if Ronaldo, I see this guy Ronaldo's clips everywhere. And I'm not even on TikTok like that. I started using the application like maybe a day or two ago because I need to stay tapped in. Like, culturally, a lot of the stuff is happening on TikTok first. And that's just the game. You know, you got to get with the times. But for Ronaldo, he's always getting clipped, and it's because his content is that entertaining. So if this guy is getting, and this is the thing, these guys are getting more viewers than Neon, but Neon's getting bigger collabs with bigger people. And are people really watching Neon or for who he has on the stream or who he's going to interact with? And you get into this situation where you're dependent on these clippers. And I think Ronaldo's saying like, yo, if you were nice like that, and I don't think he's disrespecting Neon because they're cool, but he's saying if you're nice like that, people are just going to clip you anyway. Like, people want to share a really funny moment, especially if you got a tight community. They're going to share that moment, and then that person's going to share that moment if it's funny. I haven't really seen a funny Neon clip in quite a while. Most of it is, okay, it's just like a dull thing. And to be fair, like Stable Ronaldo, not everybody can get smacked by Bradley Martin after trying to take his hat. You have to share something like that, right? Like, that is one hell of a clip. But that guy, he engineered that clip and how viral it went, and he didn't pay for it. Like he said he never paid for clippers. And I think that's more organic streamer. Now, I just feel bad for the up and coming streamers because you got to do the most, and you got to come into this game with a budget. That's never been a thing in streaming, and that is not a thing on YouTube. And that's also why I love this platform so much. R.I.P. Susan, man. I get sad thinking about that. Yeah, I don't want to go down a sad road. So I'll wrap this video here. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I've seen so many topics about how streaming is now. It's like it's like you're expected to get with the program, expecting to follow what everybody else is doing when it comes down to being a streamer, and then having to promote, and then having to get recognized, get that I was about to say transaction, to get that traction, and then just to get attention. But it's like you have to follow that blueprint that everybody is like delivering out to anybody that's trying to become a streamer. But it's definitely not the way it used to be. I don't really watch streams like that anymore, but so far as like how it's different, I don't know if there's like really a difference I can put into words. I don't know, because I really didn't watch like a stream until like maybe 2021. It's more like you're trying to promote to stay relevant, or is people really coming across? Like, the thing is with clipping, it's either like clipping to get the traction that you need for people to see what you do and see what they know about you, what you do with streaming, or you're just promoting just to stay relevant, or is it just people just to I guess people just to lead people on? I don't know. It's either people are there to actually watch you, or they're just there just to, so it's like supporting or not supporting, basically. I don't know. It shouldn't have to be me always having to promote to get traction, and just for people to like. I'm not just trying to get into the competition of who can clip the best or who can like get the most numbers and stuff like that. But it shouldn't have to be a competition. If it was when it comes down to clipping, I feel like clipping should be like checking out the community and see what they do for this person instead of having just to promote to stay relevant and to like lead people on. But it's just like if you want to check me out if you want to. But I ain't gonna force any. I'm not gonna force anything. Like I'm not gonna force myself to be on top because I know it doesn't matter. But for a specific reason would be the case. I feel like it's gonna be. It would be a specific reason that would be the case on clipping, depending on what people use it for or what they do with it.